So today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Geekom IT13 mini PC. This is their 2025 edition. We're going to be running some tests, playing some games and whatnot, some emulation, some PC stuff. We'll get to it in a moment. But this mini PC, it comes with the Intel 13th Gen i9 13900HK CPU, which is a 14-core, 20-thread CPU. It has integrated Intel Iris Xe graphics. So the model I have here has 32 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 megahertz RAM, and a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD drive. So this is kind of a middle tier mini PC. I think it's going to be fairly capable, but let's get into it. So this comes pre-installed with Windows 11 Pro. And as far as what comes in the box, you get your power supply, HDMI cable, and a VESA mount. So you can, put this thing on the back of a TV or on the wall or somewhere, I don't know, wherever you got VESA mount capability. So the IT13 has a decent amount of input outputs with two USB 4.0 Type-Cs, which can be used for DisplayPort, which supports up to 8K 30 hertz, or can be used for power delivery or data. Plug in whatever the heck you want, an extra drive, some accessories. It's got you. Now, you also have two HDMI 2.0 ports that support up to 4K at 60 hertz. So this PC has support for up to 4 displays right out of the box. Kind of nice if you can utilize it, right? Now, we also have a USB 3.0 and a USB 2.0 on the back and an Ethernet port. Then on the front, with the power button, we have a couple more USB 3.0s and a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. And alongside the one side, anyway, we have an SD card slot, which I've noticed is something that Geekom seems to do on a lot of their mini PCs. And I'm not complaining, not at all. That slot comes in handy for plenty of things. Extra storage, running a emulation build. So the IT13 also has Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. Now, going back to the SSD and RAM, it can be upgraded if you want by loosening the 4 screws on the bottom of the case. They don't, unattach, so you don't lose them or anything. But by loosening them, it gives you access to opening up the case, and you can add a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive on the bottom of the case, which is nice. Then you also have another M2 slot on the board where you can add another SSD drive. Not too many mini PCs that I've messed with anyway have this much available slots for storage. So that's already like a big plus for this mini PC. A lot of upgrades here that you can put in there. Now, my time running this PC and putting it through its paces, it stayed quiet and remained cool. According to Geekom, it has a powerful ice blast cooling system with an upgraded silent fan and enhanced dual copper pipes. I can't really dig into all that. I just know it was silent and cool, wasn't overheating. It was maintaining a nice temperature that it should be at. It does seem like whatever they got going on in here, it does get the job done. So that's good. So always with these mini PCs, I do like to test them with gaming, as I said earlier, emulation and PC games, as even, the lower powered mini PCs, it's going to be able to handle most of your basic home and office tasks, no problem. You want to run some spreadsheets? Yep. Ain't no issue, right? So what the heck's the point? We're going to be testing this, running spreadsheets and documents, typing some stuff? No. You're going to be able to watch all your movies, streaming and all that stuff. It's going to be no issue. Up to 8K 30 hertz, 4K 60 hertz. So before even bothering testing any games with this, always with these PCs, any of these kind of PCs, especially mini PCs, have to make sure everything is updated, especially the chipset drivers. So I did make sure everything from Intel was updated, and there was some updates for graphics when I checked. So if you don't run these updates, sometimes you will have issues with some games, and you may think there's an issue with the PC. So really, it's just a driver issue. So just go to Intel's site, find the auto updater for the PC, and then just go from there. It'll prompt you what needs to be updated, BIOS stuff, graphics, all that kind of, thing anyway. So yeah, run the updates and you'll be good. So From there, I did run, some emulation and whatnot. I always like setting up these mini PCs as an emulation build, having them boot into some kind of emulation thing like CoinOps or whatever, or Hyperspin, have them boot up, start running some games and whatnot, and then having PC games on the side, right? Just a little multi-purpose little entertainment station, you know what I mean? But emulation. So I was pleasantly surprised with this thing. It's going to run all your old stuff, your 8, 16-bit games, no problem. 32-bit, 64 bits. Hell yeah, no issue. So I just test like higher end things, right? So PSP, that's kind of lower but higher. Ran just fine. No issues with PSP at all. Uh, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2. I played a few games, was not having an issue. GameCube as well. No issues with GameCube. Some games do have to take a moment to kind of build up and then they start running okay. But yeah, GameCube was fine. Same thing with Wii U. Wasn't having any issues. And then the forbidden fruit when it comes to Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I was playing a little bit of that Mario, and I was like, man, I didn't think it was going to run as well as it did. And yeah, the Switch is running fine on this system. So that was really cool. This thing can handle quite a bit when it comes to emulation. So if you're looking for something a little mid-range mini PC for emulation, this might be one to look at, if it's in your price range anyway. But then moving on over to PC gaming. This is where things are really going to differ. Obviously, you can play some indie games, lower spec games and whatnot, maybe older PC games, no problem. Current stuff, if it requires ray tracing, no, I'm not going to be able to run. And there's a handful of things out there that require hardware ray tracing and whatnot. So you may not be able to run certain things. And even certain things that are a little older, like let's say Cyberpunk 2077, I had an older build I had access to. So this may not be completely relevant, but I had an older build that was on a drive and it was running a little sluggish, but it was still kind of surprising seeing that it ran okay. I think if I had a more current build of the game, it probably would have been a little more optimized and ran better on this system. But moving off of that, stuff like Elden Ring ran fine, like really no issue. You're going to have things like Final Fantasy VII Remake running okay. No Man's Sky ran just fine. So yeah, a lot of these types of games, you have to lower settings and whatnot, but a lot of the more popular things that are not like crazy demanding, Fortnite, stuff like that, a lot of these, popular games are going to run fine on this system. So yeah, there you go. If you're interested, this is available on Amazon. Put a link down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.